So thank you everyone for being here, for showing up for class, for showing up for yourself. And great, let's take a big breath. Let's just lift your arms, reach up, wiggle your fingers, keep your arms extended. You can exhale and just maybe find a little bit of this opening. I'm just going to roll the wrists a little bit. Maybe you look up. Good. And when you feel ready, you'll reach up as you inhale. And as you exhale, release your wings, bring them all the way down. Let's do that again. Any way you want to lift. Just inhale, sweep up, reach up. If you want to move, whatever feels natural here, just, wake this up. Invite in your presence, your energy. And we'll take a nice big breath, reach up. And this time, bring your hands together as if you're drawing energy down from the sun that's shining, from the season that's changing. And at the same time, opening up that which is held within. And take a few breaths here. Feel your body expand. And draw in as you exhale. Just gently, naturally happening. Just observe. Good. All right. Good. Let's do one just breath as you are. Nice big breath in, and you exhale that breath through your mouth. Good. And we'll chant Om together 3 times. Inhale. Bowing your chin. Release your hands to your thighs. Lift your chin and open your eyes. Okay, so I'm going to start with, see you later. I just took a blanket, just folded it into halves, and then I'm going to fold it into half again. So it looks like this. Okay, and then once we have that, let's take this and we're just going to lay it down. I'm just going to adjust my camera angle. Okay, good. And we're going to lie down over this. You already are feeling what's coming, you know it. So you'll just sit back and give yourself enough room. If you're at the wall, you can straighten your legs if you like. And then we'll just lie back over this blanket roll right on the spine. And I can take my hands up to the end and just tuck this little end under. And so you get this little head support. And it might feel a little wobbly. So stabilize yourself by walking your feet out. I just naturally, as soon as I came in, I just lift the hips. Just kind of find a good place there. And then you can take your arms out to the side with the palms up if you feel stable. So take your time. Heart's laughing because he's being attacked by the dogs. And then if you want to straighten your legs, they might go wider apart. So we're just opening ourselves here, lying down, supporting your spine, and just feeling it. The shoulders get this little drop. And just take a few breaths here once you're in it and comfortable. Good. Okay. So just notice now as you're lying with your body supported, notice any tension in the shoulder blades or the shoulders, and can you just melt yourself a little bit more deeply right there. And letting the jaw drop. We'll spend a few moments with the shoulders and then guide your awareness to, I'm going to say hip crease, the front of the hip crease, the tops of your thighs, if your legs are extended. And if they're bent, it might just be hip crease and lower cheeks. So just feel that you can melt, from the pelvic area a little bit more deeply. Good. Okay. Nice. So we'll take one more breath here, exactly as you are. And then we'll rebend the knees if you've straightened your legs. Good. So now your arms might come down a little bit. You might turn your palms down. And we're just going to come to the windshield wiper. So it's so interesting, bringing this pose in with all the different props. So if you were with me in class on Friday, we did this with bolster underneath different parts. And it's so interesting how much it's affected. So just feeling, where that blanket roll is receiving or being received more deeply. Good. All right, next time knees drop over to the right, let's just leave them there if that's okay. If you need to bring them closer together or further apart, then honor what your body needs to be here. Good. Then we'll turn the palms up and start to sweep your arms up over your head. And wherever they need to stop, you're going to stop there. And then the last bit is to just turn your head a little bit to the left. Good. So we'll just take 2 more breaths here. So fill up and release. Good. Okay, dance your way back to your center and, realign what you need to realign. You might keep the feet bent, just stay on your back in center for 2 more breaths, just feeling into your comfort, your slight discomfort, your presence, and connecting to the space behind you, beneath you. And as you're ready, friends, dropping the knees now over to the left. Good. And start to, when you're settled, the arms are going to sweep up wherever they're going to go. And then the head will just gently turn to the right. And receiving that breath as fully, completely as you can right now. Good. And as you finish this exhalation, gently and consciously returning back to your center, even noticing that because you're on this blanket roll, there is a consciousness to how you return. Good. Okay. Good. Heel toe your feet. I'm going to stay on this blanket roll just for one more. I'm going to see if I can bring the knees in. And you just see if you can lift your knees up. Maybe the hands are going to hold it. And all of a sudden things get a little bit more interesting. If that's too much, just feet on the floor, maybe the arms just to reach for the thighs. And we'll take one more breath here. Good. Now take your back and really press into this blanket roll. Press in as much as you can. If you just want to smush it to the floor. And then release. And you're just going to open back up, arms out, feet to the floor, maybe legs extended. Good. One more breath. Good. And then we'll come off the blanket roll. So you can just roll yourself to one side. Reach behind you. Take the roll out. You might place it in place for your head if you like. And then just come onto your back now and, oh, give gratitude. Feel that. And just feel yourself like spread out, grounded. Good. Okay. I'm going to bring the knees back into the chest. Take the arms and just hug them in. Take a few moments here if you need to rock in and out, like massage your back. Maybe even move the knees side to side or circle them. I'll just give you a few moments to move in any way that you need to here, just to shake that out and also feel into it. Good. So whatever you're doing, let's take 2 more breaths. Good. And then we're just going to hug these knees in as much as you can. And once you have them in, let the shoulders drop, let the jaw drop, and just press your back into the floor as if that blanket roll is still there. Just push down and just, notice what things engage, how maybe your tail's lifting, maybe your feet are naturally flexing. Good. 1 more breath. Okay, release your feet all the way to the floor. Take your arms out. So I have this blanket roll under my head. I'll just tell you that. Separate your feet apart, and we're going to come back to windshield wiper action. So you don't need a support for your head. It might just be a nice thing to do. So just rocking these knees side to side. And yes. Okay, beautiful friends and beautiful friends. Come back to your back, and I'm going to keep my feet wide apart. I'm just going to pigeon toe them in a little bit, or imagine that I'm doing that. And then bring your right knee into your chest. Just interlace your fingers, hug it in. Drop the shoulders. And so the left foot's just staying where it is. You're going to press your back into the floor as much as you can. Notice if any tension's gathering in the face, the shoulders, and then keep the knee where it is. It's coming a little bit closer. So the hands are really holding it. And then settle back down to the floor as much as you can. Okay, smile or drop the jaw. We don't want to take any extra tension into the face. So hopefully you're feeling this in your hip crease, or wherever you're feeling it is accurate. Good. Okay. And then we're just going to release this right leg. It's going to go all the way out on the floor. Maybe it's going to go out even to the side. Take your arms. I'm going to bring mine over my head. You take yours where you need to. The blanket roll there might be very helpful. Let your right foot just kind of flop. And we're just going to receive, everything that's rushing into that hip crease area. Good. Okay, so we're here for 1 more big breath, and you can stretch your fingers or extend that right leg longer if that's there. And then as you exhale, you'll just release all of that. Okay, we're going to bend the right leg, but let's do it very intentionally. So start by just bringing the right toes up to the ceiling, the right heel's on the floor. And then keep that. Push the heel down and just notice, everything that's happening. Now keep that and anchor the left foot into the floor. Now lift the right leg up. Maybe it goes straight, maybe not. And then bend the knee. Let's put the right heel down first and then extend the foot along the floor. See if you can almost feel like you're spreading that foot out and getting it longer. The toes anchoring. Okay. And take a nice big breath in. As you breathe out, bring the left knee in, change the interlace. Just keep it where it is. Good. And then you're just going to hold that knee, drop your shoulders, smile, relax your face. Now press into the floor with your back. Notice what happens, how the body responds. Is, you can think of it as cat pose, but you're holding your kitty tail. Good. Okay, so really anchor, notice everything that's engaging. And then keep that knee where it is. And slowly release all that effort. And once you get there, you know, we're bringing it in somewhere else. Soften your shoulders, your face, but don't lose that integrity of the arms really, or the hands pulling that shin, thigh in, whatever you have here. So breathe like you're just doing nothing. Good. And take a nice big breath in. Now, as you breathe out, we'll release this leg. Arms can come overhead if that works. Leg comes out. Maybe it goes out a little bit to the left, and then you just let that foot flop. Just take a few moments here to let the body fill the spaces. Good. Okay. And then again, we're going to bring that leg back up. Let's do that very mindfully. So start by just lifting the toes. The heel stays on the floor, and then you really ground that heel down. You feel the integrity of the leg. Feel the muscles come in. Now anchor the right foot. Smile. Lift your left leg. Maybe go straight up. Good. And then bend the knee, both feet to the floor. We're going to bring both knees into the chest. So take your arms up and over. Good. Okay. We're going to let the knees move out to the sides, and we're going to happy baby. So you do this however you need. You know, this might be your happy baby, hands to the shins, or lower might be the happy baby, or grab the outer edges of your feet and be a happy baby. Just rock side to side, or you can, yeah, let's just do this for a moment. Good. And then we'll just take it into like super happy baby. So as you rock to, let's say you rock over to the right leg straightens and the left leg comes in, and then we'll just switch. So you're using the legs a little bit, and you're also feeling into, you know, this little bit of movement and stretch. Maybe you did this first thing when you woke up already. Good. Okay, that's it, friends. So let's do one more on each side. Yes. Good. And then we'll come back. I'm going to just bring the knees into the chest, and I'm going to rock and roll here, front to back a few times. Spinal rolls, let's call them that, because then you know what you're targeting. You're welcome to roll to the side and just come up. I'm going to start by taking this blanket roll out from behind my head and setting it off to the side, and then we'll just start to rock. And I'm going to take these feet all the way over my head as I come forward and back, and you know, you do whatever works for you. It's just spinal rolls, whatever set. I'm going to do two more. Good. Okay. And then once you come up to sitting, whenever you get here, you could just sit for a few moments, just let all of that sink in, or go straight to downward facing dog. Okay, so yogi's choice here. You're going to take 5 breaths wherever you like to be. So you can invert it or sit as you are. Close your eyes and breathe. Good. Yes. Good. So we'll take one more breath. Good. And then come down onto your knees. And I'm going to keep the toes tucked under. We've been doing this a little bit. So you just take your hips back. So it's child's pose, but not really, because the hips don't have to touch the heels. And then once I'm here, I just kind of claw the floor, get longer with my arms if that's there. Good. Okay, and then you plant the hands. Inhale, curl up through cat pose, like you're pushing that blanket up to the sky this time. Good. And then from here, you'll either exhale by just shifting yourself forward a little bit to modified plank, or you can even drop the hips and take this modified cobra. Okay, so wherever you are, then we'll inhale, come up. Yes, and exhale, just take it back. Good. And then just find your own little flow here. You can even close your eyes. You're just moving front to back in whatever way your body says, this is good for me. I'm keeping my toes tucked under. Good. So let's do one more. And as you finish your last little one here, then you could take it to child's pose or just sitting. I'm going to sit on the toes in this modified Vajrasana. So if this works, groovy. Okay, I'm going to take you could take your blanket roll and support your knees if you'd like to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to sit here, breathe, awaken the toes, awaken the thighs. So here you can have your hands on the floor. Just let your feet kind of soften if you can, like there's this, if you're able to. Okay, groovy. I'm taking the hands to the floor. Now I have this blanket roll here. You can bring it in now. I'm going to bring the knees forward and put the tops of the feet on the blanket roll. And then I'm coming back. So I'm just changing the angles of the feet here. It could be like closer to the tops, closer to the toes. Oh, I thought that was you saying, oh, this is no good. So see how this is. You might keep your hands on the floor, or I'm going to start to take it up. And it is like, and you can let your feet relax here. You don't have to hold them because we're just stretching the tops of those feet. So nice. Getting ready for walking season. Okay, notice here if you're cat pose, see what you can do. As we lift up, we put, changes the pressure. Take one more breath. Good. Okay, I'm going to come back down. I'm going to take my feet in front of this blanket roll. So I have my toes tucked under here, and the blanket roll is just right behind the feet. And we're going to take this into squat, or a modified squat. You're just going to pop those heels onto the blanket roll, just like that. And, if you want to take a little bit of time here and shift yourself front to back, that's fun. Good. Okay. So now I'm back on this blanket roll and this modified squat, and you could jump your feet wide apart if you need to. I'm going to walk my hands over to one side and take this twist. So, so good. Okay, and so be wherever you need to be. Breathe. Maybe your hands come together here. And then I can really anchor, twist, and breathe. Good. Okay, release whenever you need. I'm staying here 2 more breaths. This is what I was thinking for that card, right? Every challenge you experience in life, if this is challenging, invites you to evolve and grow as a person. How awesome. Okay, release, come out. Okay, if you need to, I'm going to go right to actually, let's do this. Let's put the tops of the feet. We'll just come back here. If you need to just sweep your legs in front and just sit, that's fine. I'm going to come back into this. Okay, we are going to do the second side. So every challenge in life presents you with an opportunity to evolve. So maybe this is yours. I don't know. Okay, and then we'll come back. I'll tuck those little toes under. So I'm on the toes, heels are down. Be where you need to be here. Okay, and then you'll walk your hands over to the left. I think it's left. Okay, wherever you go, be here, breathe, receive. There's a lot happening. These simple looking poses are not so simple. Okay, and then if you want to bring your hands together, if you find the twist here, and breathe. You're going to honor yourself by coming out when you need. Okay, and then we'll release. So I'm going to just take this little blanket roll out and sit right on it. Stretch your legs out. That might feel really good. Move them around. Good. Okay, so this is the pose. This is Dandasana staff pose is the name of this pose. I'm just sitting. I have my feet are flexed, hands are on the floor, and then you drop your gaze down, maybe in between your leg, your feet, or your calves. Soften your face. One more breath. Good. Okay, and then from here, we're gonna come into downward facing dog. I'm gonna keep this blanket to support the knees, and we're gonna bring our blocks in. We'll put the blocks front here. All right, so the blanket roll, I was just thinking, I just want to baby our knees a little bit. So we're just gonna come into, you find this, you'll find if the blanket's a hindrance, then take it out. It's only there for loving support. Okay, I'm gonna find a nice place here on the blocks, and then we'll step, bring your right knee into center, and then step your left foot forward, and come into, this good friend, bent knee lunge. Hello, bent knee lunge. So you might, I like to also play with the distance. So you can walk, your leg, you find it. And then once you feel you're in a good, comfortable stance, let's just rock it front to back. Good. And as you're rocking front to back, let's articulate. I'm just going to move this block. We're just going to articulate the left foot. So maybe it turns and points out as you come forward. Go straight, and then it turns in as you're just going to change that positioning of the foot. Go slow, obviously, so that, if your knee isn't happy, you notice that, and you're like, oh, if I turn the foot out, the knee doesn't like it. Okay, now we're going to move the back foot. So we'll start by just coming forward into lunge. Just set this up, and then you'll shift back. As you shift back, I'm going to just turn this right leg so I get a little bit of this, and then we'll come back. Now I'm going to just pop that leg out to the left, but the left, to the right. It's going to the right, and the left foot's going to turn. It's just mechanics. So just kind of play a little bit with moving here. And, once you kind of have that flow, again, if the blanket is a hindrance, take it out. Then maybe you add a little bit of the head, the neck turning. So we're really moving a lot right here. Good. Okay. Good. Let's bring that back into your bend knee lunge. And we'll just sweep back. Let's just, we'll just switch legs. Good. And then find your stance. Take your time. And then when you're ready, you'll just start by just rocking front to back and, adjust anything you need. So you're offering yourself loving, compassionate support. Good. And then once you're ready, here we'll start to articulate that right foot this time. I'm just kind of finding a little bit of something different. Good. Nice. And then I'll just come back into lunge, and now I'm just going to start to move the back foot. So I'll start by moving it over to the right, and then over to the left. And let your right foot move naturally. It's going to just happen as we're moving the position of the hips. Good. Oh, yeah. Okay, groovy. And then from here, I'll just take it on back. Good. Okay, let's drop the blocks down. I'm going to take this into downward dog, but you could rest in child's pose or sitting, whatever works. Take a few moments. If you're in downward dog, we're really going to press the thighs back. Good. Yeah, even if you have your knees bent, then sometimes it gives you more access. Good. Okie dokie. Good. All right, we're going to take the feet over this blanket roll like we did. I'm just going to jump them, but you can take a little step and just have your heels on the blanket. We're coming for squat, so turn your feet out a little bit, and you have your blocks if you need them. So I'm just in this squat here now. Feet are a little wider apart. It's different than what we did before. So the elbows and the knees might meet here, or you might keep your hands on the floor. Let's take a breath here. The work is in softening the pelvic floor. So wherever you are, you just go, what can I relax? Good. Okay, from here we're coming up to forward fold. I have my blocks if I need them, or hands on the floor. lift up, and we're gonna just put the soles of the feet on the blanket roll. If you need to bend your knees, do that. The blocks are gonna help to just bring the floor up. So my heels aren't touching the floor and I'm lifting my toes up. So, and now I'm kind of balancing. Now I'm just gonna just take these, I'm thinking row, row, row your boat. I'm moving my feet, so I'm pushing the toes down and then the heels down. Knees can be bent, I'll say it 1,000,000 times. Well, at least 3 times. Good. Okay. Just opening up the backs of your legs. All right, and then let's just hang out. If you want to step off the blanket roll, that's fine. If you want to stay on the blocks or take your hands to the floor. So I'm just have the soles of the feet balancing on this blanket. I say roll, but we didn't roll it. So, and I'm just starting to let the heels drop more. So it's really opening up the backs of the legs for me and hopefully for you. Good. Okay. And then find your hands on your blocks if they're there. And we're just going to step the feet off the blanket roll. How nice is that? And then we're going to come all the way up to standing. So you're going to open your arms out to the side and sweep up. And just be in your standing. So your arms can stay over your head, or you can bring them in front of your heart. Just turn off the light.
Yeah, do you want to?
I didn't even notice it was on.
I know.
Okay. All right, I'm just going to turn to face you and bring the blocks in, and we're going to take this pigeon in a tree pose. Maybe we'll start with just good old-fashioned tree pose. So if you need the wall, you walk to the wall, and I'll just move out of the eye candy way. So you can hold on to the wall or not. Okay, so whichever side you have, let's see. I'm starting standing on my left leg. I'm just going to press down into the floor with all that integrity. Then shift your weight over to the left foot. Turn your right foot out, bring it in, find your version of tree. And then you can keep the hand at the wall, maybe just one hand to the heart, and squeeze the hips in towards each other. Okay, all that wobbling you're doing is good stuff. Okay, breathe, and then you can reach your arms or keep the hands in prayer. I'm going to take my arms behind me, and you might grab opposite wrists here. You might even bring the hands together into reverse prayer, so the palms are touching. But be wherever you need to be. Oh, lovely. Let's take 2 more breaths. I know it's work. Smile into your challenge. Come out when you're done. Good. Okay, and then we'll release. I always like to, pretend it doesn't matter. Good. Okay, take your arms, shake them, and then we'll do the second side. Maybe you need to turn around if you're using the wall, or stay as you are. So start by just really anchoring from the hips down to the legs. And take the belly in. Yes, just a little bit. And then shift the weight to the right foot. Turn the left foot out and find your tree. And it could be very low. You could have your heel at your ankle. And then hug in. Be the tree. The trunk is literally hugging itself and making a ring every year, right? Hug in. Now you keep your hands here, lift them up, or maybe you take them behind your back. And woo-wee. Breathe and smile. Okay, whenever your pose is done, I honor that. Okay, and then we'll come out. Okay, shake your legs and your arms. And now we're going to come to pigeon in a tree. So that's this one. I'll just do it super quick. Boom. That's it. So then the blocks are there to put your hands on if you get down that far. But it's all fine, I'll just stay here. Okay. So from here, we'll do the same thing. Anchor the legs, shift the weight, use the wall or not, cross ankle over knee, bend the knee, and then you push your butt back. So the hip creases are coming back. Flex your foot, recruit what you can. And then hands stay here, or you come down, you find your blocks. Okay, I'm just gonna turn to the side. Oh, look at that. I don't even need to. There's my model. And the more you bend the knee and push the tush back, then the more we get into these parts unknown. Breathe here. Okay? You can stay on your blocks or come all the way down to the floor. Good. Okay, and then we'll start to come out. So you come out with your own version of grace and elegance, whether it happens or not. Okay, just pause. Feel into all of that. Your own vitality, your energy, what we've unleashed and released. Okay, second side. So use the wall, no wall. Anchor the legs, bend the knees, shift the weight to the right foot, left ankle comes over the knee. And then we sit down into it, breathe, you find your blocks, and you just explore. Good. So stay on the blocks or come down to the hands to the floor. Hug in. Good. Okay. And then slowly make your way out. Release. Rest in your standing. Okay. Good. All right. We're going to come into Ardha Chandrasana, and I'm going to have the blocks. So I'll just show it here. That's where I have 1 foot straight, 1 foot lifted. And, if you're by the wall, I feel like I'm going to use this again, but not for this pose. So if you're by the wall, just kind of mark it and go, where can I get? Maybe this feels maybe this is the medicine you need. So you can kind of mark it if that works, or stay away from the wall, it's all fine. Okay, and then once you've marked it, let's just set it so that I have my hands on the blocks, my right foot's pointing straight, my right knee is bent. And I'm just going to send the energy back through that hip crease, through the thighs. And then, soften your gaze, let it be almost meditative, that you move in and you lift that left leg. You can walk your blocks wherever you need. I'm just going to push out. Okay? If you want to go full pose, that right hand stays on the block and you can lift the left arm up. But you're very much in your legs, your belly's in. Maybe you're even imagining a blanket roll behind your back. Okay, I'm here for another 2 breaths. And a smile. Good. Okay. I said 2 more breaths, but it just feels so good. So if you're ready to come out, come out. And if you're still in it, that's fine. Okay, taking it down. Oh, I am going to use the blanket roll here. I'm just going to come into this version of forward fold we've done. And so I'm on the blanket. Drop down. Breathe. So scary. Okay. All right. Come out. Now I'm just going to stand for a moment, but if you need to take a rest in between and drop yourself into your child's pose, you feel, okay, what do I need to be to gather in? So I'm just going to stand here with 2 more breaths. Feel the effects of what that's done. It's poses like that, sometimes you feel like you get taller. Okay, and then we'll move to the second side. So we'll find your blocks. Okay, mark yourself too. If you use the wall, take your time. You can find what works. Okay, and then once you've marked it, then just come back down to the starting position. And you'll bend your knee, the left knee, and then sweep that right leg up. And so if both legs stay bent, that's a version of the pose. So you're either pressing into the wall or you're balancing your blocks, walk them forward to wherever you need. And be in the extension. Like grow yourself from the waist out through each leg. And if you want to take the full pose, left hand stays on the block, right arm lifts. And just, if you fall out, we both just come back. Take your time. Good. Okay, I'm going to take 2 more breaths. Okay, and then release. Good. Okay, I'm going to come back to this forward fold with the feet on the blanket for a few moments. Just release. And really let your body hang. My knees are bent because it feels good. Good. Okay, I'm going to come back down for squat. So heels on the blanket roll if you like that. Toes can turn out a little bit. Eventually, we do want to kind of keep the feet straight, but that's, hip rotation. So if that works for you, great. Okay, I'm going to take this to a forward fold. I'm just going to walk the blocks forward, drop my head, breathe and smile like this is great medicine. Good. Okay. All right, from here, I'm going to move into downward facing dog, but if you'd like to take it for child's pose or sitting, know that that is always there. And I just naturally turn the blocks on their baby side, and I'm using the blocks. I have my hands on the blocks. And sometimes, we all have different anatomy, arms length, leg length. It just makes the arms a little longer. I can really press back. Okay. Good. All right, and then lowering down. I'm going to walk the feet or walk the knees forward so I get the tops of the feet on the blanket. I'm just going to come back into this. So it might be child's pose or sitting. I'm just bringing the blocks along for fun. Or move into cross-legged. It's all fun. And just breathe here. Let your body kind of settle. If you're sitting on your feet or on your tush, settle into that. Good. Okay. So I'm going to come back to that twist we did on the toes. And if I was going to say, if you didn't love it, you could do it. You could do it just sitting without the, sitting on the tops of the feet on the floor. You could also do it. I don't know. You'll figure it out. But I'm going to come back to this. And I'll just rest the heels on the blanket roll. I mean, you can make your blanket roll bigger. That's another thing you could do. Okay, and then once you're here, I have the blocks in my hands. They're going to come with me. I'm just going to walk the hands over. And you just stop wherever you need to. I am drawing the belly in and turning it. And then the knees are moving away. So my knees are closer together. I'm going to come back into this palm over palm thing and lean back into the twist. Whatever you're doing, friend, I honor your work. Good. Okay, release. Come back. If you need a break, take your break. And when you're ready, heart's doing forward fold. Good. Great. Whatever you need, you know where we're going. Just gonna walk my hands over. So I'm moving to the second side. You take your time. And move into your version of twist here. Whatever works is great and good. Okay. And then we're going to come out. I'm just going to sit. So I'll just do what we did before and just scooch the tush. Stretch your legs out. Your much used legs. If you want to give them a couple little love pats, then go ahead and pat it out. Good. Okay. Let's take the blocks. So I'm still sitting on this little blanket roll. You can come off if you like. I'm just going to put the blocks on this side and then rest the center of the calves there. And then you can, whatever you want to do here is fine with me. You might even do a little hip walking And as you move your legs, the block, edge of the block kind of pushes in to a different place, hopefully. So my blocks are moving. Good. Okay. And then just come into this. Start to just point and flex your feet. And, we're also just giving some massaging love into this belly of your calf. Okay. I'm going to start to roll the ankles. And that's going to bring some stuff. So let's say this: every challenge we experience in life invites you to evolve and grow as a person. And then reverse the direction. Okay, do you feel this?
Yeah.
Okay, so me too. I just wanted to make sure I'm not the only one. Okay, and then I'm just going to point and flex in opposition a little bit. Yes, and I'll let the feet kind of move like they're doing a little dance as well. Well, my head's starting to go too. Okay, good. And then just come to sit. Now I'm going to keep the blocks here, and I feel like I just kind of want to move myself back on the blanket roll. Okay, I'm coming into a version of forward fold. So whatever works here, you go wherever you need. I'm bringing more pressure. So if I take my arms on top of my legs here and drop my head, this is where we're going. But, I encourage you to just feel into what you need to achieve that bit of pressure into your calves and to melt your body. Feel your breath. Okay, these are your walking muscles. Well, a part of them. Good. So let's just give them some vitality and freshness. We'll just take 2 more breaths here, wherever you are. And before we come out, just notice if this version of forward fold is bringing you more deeply into your fold or not, whether you remember or not, just notice. And then you'll slowly start to come out. And as you come out, you just come to a place where you can move the blocks now. So they're on the smallest height, and they're just going to hold the calves now in a nice way. Okay. Good. And then we'll just come up again. I'm going to come back into forward fold. And even though I think you're all fine, I'm just going to show that if you need, you could also use your strap if it's as an arm extender, if that's interesting. But otherwise, just sit up tall, take a nice big breath, and walk yourself forward, or let your head drop. Just close your eyes and feel into whatever this is for you. You can let your feet relax too. Like I said, these are like a little pillow for your calf. So we'll just let the feet relax, your body just dropping. And notice if you're holding tension in the back of your neck. And the more you release your head, the more we open the back line of the body, which is, if you think about the very first pose we did, when we lay with the blanket roll over the spine. Now we're just taking it into this flexion. Okay, so I offer this, that if it works for you in this shape, to press as if you're pushing that blanket roll into the floor, that same action. Just bring that in. So you can keep that maybe for, that pressure. One more breath, and then you can release it. And then slowly coming up. And you can just take your legs off of that. Let's just, last one, without anything, just bring the feet to the floor. I'm still on the blanket. Good. Just massage and feel, and we'll do one last forward fold in this shape. So your legs have been open quite a bit in this practice. I'm going to show you one way to go. If you can reach your feet, then you might even just use a block to kind of use that to pull, just for fun, not even pull, because just to gently draw yourself forward. So you can place the block there. You might not get there. You might. It's all fun. And then as you're ready, slowly release into forward fold with the legs straight. And if you grab the block, great. And if it doesn't happen, then just let the head drop more. Find contentment in your shape. So smile. Okay, if you want to press the blanket roll back, that same action, you could do that. As I do that and press the back, my thighs want to lift, like from the knees up to the hip crease. So I'm just letting that happen too. See if you can soften your glute clench a little bit. Okay, and then we'll come out of this. Good. We're going to come to windshield wiper. So I'm just going to take my hands behind, bend the knees, and just do some seated windshield wiper here. It's very nicely. It might come off your blanket roll as you do this. Good. Okay. All right. And then we'll just come up and we're going to set up for shavasana. I'm going to take this blanket roll and just put it underneath the shoulders here, just to kind of give all that a little massaging love too. And I feel like a legs up the wall, I've done all this leg stuff, so might as well take advantage of that. So maybe I'll come to have the knees bent and the feet on the floor. So I'm close. If you can put your socks on, your sweatshirts on, and I'll use this blanket roll just with the knees bent. Take the arms over top, and your head can be on the floor, but if that's not happy, you have your blocks nearby, you can just toss a block under your head. That's all fine. You'll still get the benefit of the shoulders, just getting a little bit of support. So the other thing I'm going to do is draw the shoulder blades down. So I'll just, I kind of arch the back and move the shoulders down a little bit. If that makes sense. If it doesn't, don't worry. Just melt in, let your body soften. Good. Okay, so you can stay exactly as you are, or if you have something under your head, you'll take it out. It just happens to be a block, which I'm now going to put underneath the sacrum. And I'll just stay on this blanket roll under the chest. So I put my block on the highest height. You don't have to do that. It can be any height. And then, you just kind of drop in. As I do this, my arms want to go into cowboy surrender, cactus, or whatever you want to call it. And just take a few moments here. So I have slipped forward. It's all fine. So don't worry too much, as long as you feel, the block's not going to slide out. We'll just melt in. Good. Okay, so be wherever you need to be here. Good. Okay. So if you like to play on the block, then now's your time. You can take your legs up on the block if you like. I'm going to come off the block and take the legs up the wall for a few moments. And I'll use this blanket roll now just to support my head. I'll just bring it forward. Take your time, because you know where we're going here. We're going to move into shavasana. Could be right now, or you could do whatever it is you're doing for the next few moments. Good. I'm just going to wrap my legs with this, my grandmother's shawl, which is the truth. That's what I have here. Just to kind of bring them in. So whatever works for you. Just release yourself, even a nice big breath in. And let it go. So shavasana, sometimes very challenging pose, resting in stillness. And dropping into that, so you soften any tensions, you notice them, You hear your busy mind. Every challenge you experience in life invites you to evolve and grow as a person. Shavasana is one of those very magical poses that at the beginning can be very challenging. But the more we learn to be quiet, to be okay with quiet, the more we evolve and grow as a person. So scanning your body as you are, melting, releasing. This is not a time for busyness. This is a time to release. Okay, so staying as you are, or shifting into your full shavasana if you wish to. And we'll drop in for a few more moments of quiet and stillness. Trust and release. And staying as you are. Expanding your experience. And staying for as long as you like. We're beginning to honor the process of awakening. Slowly moving your fingers, your toes, your ankles, your wrists. And bending your knees. Maybe you rest there for a few moments, or you hug the knees into your chest. When your body says it's ready to roll to your side, then again, just taking a few moments there as you savor everything you have cultivated, invited in. into this moment. This great act of self-love. Just coming up to seated if that's where you're headed. And once you come upright, just take a few moments to just be in your own energy bubble. Feel, what you have shifted. Well, I'm going to seal this class the way we started. And so as you're ready, I'll just inhale, sweep your arms out. And we'll just bring the hands together overhead and exhale. Hands to your heart. Pardon me. Bow your chin. And just honor everything that lives within you. All that you are opening yourself to and experiencing. As you inhale, grow tall, lift your chin, and as you exhale, stay as you are. And we'll join together in our May We Be Blessed mantra. Inhale. May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy and may we be happy. Good. And just before we I just want to offer you a moment if you want to switch to gallery view. Just, to remind yourself that you are not alone. We are in this and we are here and we're supporting each other in our practice and all this beautiful stuff. Yes. Hi, everybody. And then we'll seal this with one Om. If you're with somebody else and you want to turn and face each other so you can feel the Oms, that's kind of fun. And you could also just kind of hold, if you're by yourself, there's something when we start the Om, it's in the throat and the part is in the crown of your head. So I just offer that if you want to do that or, to enjoy your Om anyway. You could also just have the hands at your heart. Inhale. Bow your chin, Om Shanti, Om Peace. Take a full breath in. Breathe into your hands. Catch your breath. And offer it to yourself. And then we'll offer it to each other. All of that good energy we brought in, we'll send it out into the world. So thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you for being here, for playing, and for turning on your cameras. Thank you guys. And have a great rest of your day.
You as well.